Aconitum napellus. Monk's hood. In former times, aconite was used as a quick-acting poison. Nowadays, by contrast, it is a valuable medicine in homeopathy, the treatment of highly acute, vehement conditions. The complaints are so intense and frightening that the patients, like the victims of poisoning, are certain they will die very soon. Homeopathically, aconite is suitable for persons who suffer from an oversensitive nervous or cardiovascular system. The nervous system reacts after a shock or a fright. The cardiovascular systems react to being exposed to cold wind or to heat. Both can produce a strong reaction in the form of an acute, sudden and very intense illness, accompanied by anxieties and an enormous restlessness. Aconite is an important remedy for the early stages of many illnesses and is often followed by other remedies as the illness progresses or the symptoms change. Acute infections often start off with complaints typical of aconite. The patients are short of breath, their heart races, their pulse is full and strong. They get a high fever, their head is hot and red, or one cheek only is pale. There is vertigo on sitting up, and they turn completely pale. Attacks of chills alternate with fever, and both force the patients to remain in bed despite their great restlessness. In contrast to the very similar picture of a belladonna state, the pupils of these patients are contracted. The person is very thirsty, asks for cold drinks, and the skin is noticeably dry. The fact that another remedy will be required soon is indicated as the patient starts to sweat. All complaints are so intense, quick and threatening that the patients are often convinced that they are going to die soon, at a specific time. Aconite is indicated not only in the acute stages of an illness. It is also of great importance in the treatment of chronic complaints. Owing to a constitutional oversensitivity of the nervous system, these patients suffer from very intense and sudden anxiety attacks, followed by phases without any symptoms, until the attacks start again. The patients become restless. They walk to and fro and demonstrate their inner torment by shivering or by fleeing from the situation which causes the attack. On the one hand, these are situations where the patients feel imposed upon and are forced to flee, for example, from a crowd of people or from the cinema. They like to sit near the exit. On the other hand, anxieties may come up due to sudden exposure to wide open spaces, for example, in large and empty public places, streets, or on leaving the house. This chronic aconite condition also has its origins in a former experience of intense fright. A car accident, an earthquake, or other sudden dangers accompanied by fear of death. During the phases which are symptom-free, there is often a subtle fear of death. In contrast to the acute phases, however, the patients do not predict the exact time of their death. Rather, they know that they will die soon. As a result, they may prepare their will, and internally, they slowly but decidedly take their leave of life. Strong complaints, accompanied by severe restlessness. Red face, or one red and one pale cheek. The face turns pale upon sitting up. High fever alternates with chills. Feeling of imminent death. Beside oneself with pain, dry heat. Contracted pupils. Strong desire for cold drinks. Ailments from fright. Ailments from exposure to cold wind. Wakes up 1 to 2 hours after falling asleep, with strong fright. Predicts the time of his death. Fear in a crowd. Fear in large empty spaces. Formication and sensation of numbness. Panic attacks, accompanied by the conviction that life will end soon.